There's confusion about the future of Victoria's Suburban Rail Loop project if Peter Dutton wins the next election. The opposition leader insists he would provide support on merit, despite some within the state branch wanting to scrap the project. Victoria political reporter Simon Love explains.
State and federal Liberal MPs appear frustrated and confused over whether the Commonwealth Government should be funding Victoria's Suburban Rail Loop project. The Albanese government has committed more than $2 billion to SRL East, running from Melbourne's Bayside to eastern suburbs. But the state government's expecting the Commonwealth to cover a third of the $35 billion price tag to deliver the first stage. On Monday morning, federal Liberal MP Dan Tehan announced he's launched a petition to scrap the rail loop and redirect funding to rural and regional roads. But his position appears to be at odds with his leader. Peter Dutton told Sky News it was inaccurate to say that he believed the project shouldn't go ahead.
I've seen some media reports this morning, Laura, that they're not accurate. We're happy to provide support to projects, but not if the state government has no hope of putting their own money in. So if I entered into any agreement with Jacinta Allen at the moment, I'd want to see the colour of their money first, because they have wrecked the Victorian economy, and I want to see more money spent in Victoria on road infrastructure.
We're not at odds. What I'm saying to Anthony Albanese as Prime Minister is Victoria cannot afford this project. This does make it a federal election issue, because we won't fund the $2.2 billion into the Suburban Rail Loop.
Victoria's opposition leader appeared to add to the confusion.
So just to be clear, is it your policy to scrap the project or to pause the project?
Yeah, so it's to pause the project so we can, first of all, have a look at what Premier Jacinta Allen has actually signed Victoria up to.
Aren't you at odds with Dan Tehan, who said he wants the project scrapped?
Well, we want it scrapped too. It's just that we need, yes, of course we do, but we need to look at the contracts.
To be crystal clear, you want the project scrapped as opposed to it being paused.
Yeah, Simon, let's not get into semantics here. We have to pause the project. So yes, we want to scrap the project.
But Victoria's Premier seized on this issue.
That is just typical Liberal nonsense to conceal the fact that they're totally hostile to funding the infrastructure the Victorian community wants and needs. And again, I want to thank Dan Tehan. Dan Tehan has done the Victorian community a favour today.
It is likely that any further funds for the rail loop will become a major issue for Victoria for the upcoming federal election.